Hey Tim, great to see you.
Hello, mate.
Love working with you.
You too.
And as you know, I'm just trying to tutor students and youngsters, trying to get in the film business, and
Yeah.
really respect your advice if you've got anything to sort of put out there which might help them. Because I
Well,
think they
yeah,
need a bit of positivity nowadays.
sure. I mean, my only worry is that I'm quite old now, and I've kind of, I started in the late 70s, and so my what I would have said to somebody starting out in those days is probably out of date. But there are some truisms that continue, that will always be true. And so, therefore, the first thing you need to do is, if you haven't got one, is to get an agent, right?
Right.
How do you get an agent? That's the perpetual thing. If you've got something that you're doing on stage, get all write to all of them. Just write to every single agent that there is, because nobody can say, my agent is better than somebody else's, because it's all ultimately luck.
Right.
A horrible thing to say, but it's so much down to luck and being the right face at the right time, walking into that particular interview where you get that job. It's the one that, propels you to stardom, or you get the one that isn't, or you don't get it, and sometimes you walk in the door. It's nothing to do with your acting capabilities. It's to whether or not your face fits what
Yeah.
their preconception of it is. So that don't get disheartened when they turn you down, if they turn you down, sorry. So when you try to get agents, you need to have a really, really good CV. And if you can't write CVs, get ChatGPT to write it for you, because everybody else is doing that. Have a
Right.
show reel. If you've done anything on film, get that put together and get it done professionally. Don't do it in an amateur way. Get it done professionally because everybody else is doing it professionally. Um, that have photos and your list of everything that you've done, and you just need to stand out from the crowd. You need to wow them with how good you are. So if you haven't got anything on tape, if you haven't got anything on film, do it. Find a really, really good piece and record it to picture, to record it to camera, and just do it as a monologue.
Right.
You need to show that you can do it, because so many people can't, and the ones that can really stand out. So
And
there's a
I imagine, Tim, it would be good to give several styles of your voice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Different emotions.
everything, all that, if you're good at accents, put every accent into it. Different styles, over the top, really, really subtle. One of the great pieces of advice that I got, I was at Bristol Ovid Theatre School, and we had a teacher there called Rudy Shelley, and he used to give these little adages, one of which is all what I do, really. And all you need to do is to think acting is the art of reacting. And what that means is that when you're doing a play, when you're doing a telly, whatever you're doing, you've got to listen to the other person and respond in the way that you would the first time you heard it. And so many times I'm watching bad actors coming up with something where they come straight in on the cue, and you know that they haven't actually heard what's being said to them.
Right, right.
And sometimes that means that you can come in over the top of them because you know what they're going to say. So you can come in before they finish because you know what they're going to say. But if they say something which is a surprise to you, and you come in instantly, you go, no, you're just saying the line.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
You're not responding. And it's reacting not only to what another actor says to you, but reacting in a way to your own thought process. So you think something, and then as a result of what you've thought, you say it.
Right,
Everything is a reaction. Everything is a reaction, unless obviously you're starting the conversation, in which case that's not true. But even then, when you're starting the conversation, you're reacting to the thought that you had to start the conversation. So just think about that, just reacting, and make it as natural as you can. I've had times often when directors say, "Come on, pick up the cues," and I've gone, "No, man, because how do I know that they've said that?" Even if it's a millisecond, and that millisecond makes the difference between it being real and being false.
right.
And that almost the most important thing, really. Um, the dangers nowadays, here it is. We're recording here in September 2025. AI has really, really kind of gone mad this year,
Mhm.
and I'm finding it, because I do a lot of voice work. I'm finding I'm losing a lot of work to AI, and you can hear it now. You can watch a video,
Well, the process.
yeah, a YouTube video, and you're listening to somebody giving a narration, and suddenly they give a wrong intonation and a wrong. inflection, and you go, oh, that's AI. And you can tell, but you won't fairly soon. I mean,
Yeah,
this is 2025, give it a year, even if not that, you won't be able to tell the difference. And that's
sure.
really, really scary. And so the work that I've had guaranteed for 40 years is getting less, as well. So my advice to you is to use AI. I mean, I've just written a play in which I've used ChatGPT to help me write the script, and then in the script is the play is all about a bloke who wakes up one morning and finds that Alexa has become sentient and starts
Okay.
talking to him. And it's like, that film Her with Scarlett Johansson and Joaquin Phoenix about where he falls in love with the operating system. It's that. So I'm using an artificial voice, an AI voice is the other actor. So it's me plus
Mm.
I'm using 11 labs to do text to speech. And so I've
Okay.
created another character. And I've got ChatGPT to help me to formulate the sky. It's
Fantastic.
not written all the lines. It's written a few of them,
Yeah.
and some of them are really, really good.
That's great. But I like the way, Tim, you're embracing it, rather than the old Luddite thing, industrial revolution, run away.
Yeah,
I think we have to.
you have to, because I mean, so many of my friends are saying, "Oh, we're going to equity about this, and I've got to copyright my own voice." Yeah, fine. I mean, do everything you can to do that, but it ain't going to happen
No.
because they'll nick it anyway.
Yeah.
They'll just nick it anyway. So, I mean, I've uploaded my voice. I've cloned it. I've taken an hour's worth um, uh, of audiobook that I recorded, and I uploaded it, and it's now got a clone of my voice, and I put my name on it, and I monetized it, and I actually got a payment into my bank account for £6.46 the other day.
Does that
So,
mean somebody
rich
used
is
it?
rich is beyond, but it's a start, and I just think that the attitude nowadays,
Oh,
I think probably it's all over for us, but for you young, people who are starting in the business, you've got to embrace it.
absolutely.
You've got to use it. You can't fight it. It's here.
Yeah.
And things like, I mean, I play guitar. I put it on dim at the moment, but I've got guitars here. I've been writing music all my life. And for youngsters starting off as musicians, it's terrifying. You look at it, there are many websites. One of them is called Songer, Songer. Just try it out. It's free. And you just give it a prompt and say roughly what you want it to be about. And it comes within like 15 seconds, it comes up with this absolutely astonishingly, completely realistic song. And that's true of every bloody business that you've got.
Yeah.
If you want a girlfriend, you don't have to have a real girlfriend. You get a virtual one,
Mm,
and the rest. So that's a worry. And my attitude towards that is, particularly from your younger point of view, you can't fight it. You've got to embrace it and
yeah.
find ways of using it. So going back to what I'm saying about writing a CV, somebody else has written their CV, and it's a bit shit. And they put it through ChatGPT, and it comes out really, really good.
Polished.
But people will probably, now when they're receiving CVs, will kind of anticipate the fact that it's been written by ChatGPT. And if it isn't, it's going to be not as good.
Yeah.
It's AI is better than you. And that's a really horrible thing to have to say, but it's true. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm just being depressing, man. I'm sorry.
All right, Tim. Well, thank you so much for your advice. I'm sure they're going to love it.
Okay. And also, if you want, I mean, that's the downside. There are better sides, but that's the thing to do, is to get a really good agent. And the way to do that is to stand out from the crowd and be better than everybody else. And however you manage to do that, or however you manage to fake that, um, that's the way to do it. And very best of luck with it, man.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tim. That's brilliant.
Okay.